Well, welcome to High School Sports on the Hartford Cable Network. I'm Don Morrison. Tonight at Hartford Technical High School, it is the 2018 Fall Cheerleading Championships. It should be an exciting night. Jessica Holmes, the fourth-year coach at Hartford Tech here, your team last year finished second in this meet and then finished second in the state.
Yes.
Quite a year for you all.
Oh, it's been absolutely amazing. I have a very talented team. They've been growing together for the past 3 or 4 years. It's been awesome.
Talk about cheerleading, a unique sport where you cheer for the other teams and then all of a sudden for 2 minutes and 30 seconds it's all on the line. How do you get both to be cheerleading for other teams and then be a tournament competition team yourself?
It's interesting because at practices you have to practice for the sideline cheers, but then you spend most of your time practicing at the tournaments, and which is the most stressful part. But we make it work and we find time to do both.
Coach, now you're a cheerleader, a veteran cheerleader, cheered in high school. What is there about cheerleading today that may be different than when you cheered?
Oh, definitely the competition aspect. When I cheered, the only thing you had to do was be able to be loud and maybe do a nice jump. Nowadays, it's tumbling, it's how you can stunt. There's so many aspects that go into it now.
Talk about the nerves these young people must be feeling. They come out on the mat for 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Their whole season is based on those 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Oh, the nerves are all over the place. I mean, you have girls that are absolutely excited, you have girls that are terrified, but still very excited. It's a lot to stand there in front of that mat and wait for that, them to call you on the mat, and then 2.5 minutes is all you have. But they've learned to handle it very well.
And Jessica, it's now a sport in Hartford County and a sport in many counties in the state. Tell me why cheerleading should be considered a sport.
Oh, the athleticism alone. I mean, a lot of people just see us on the sidelines and think, oh, they're just standing there, they're just cheering, that's not a sport. But what we're doing is we're doing weightlifting, we're conditioning all the time. These girls are going to tumbling classes, not only at practice, they're not tumbling at practice only, but at other gyms, and they're doing so much that other people just don't even realize.
Jessica Holmes, hang with me a second. I'm going to turn and talk to Morgan Steinhauser. Morgan, the coach for 11 years, believe it or not, 11 years at C. Milton Wright. Your team winning here last year in the fall, finishing second, third in the state actually. Your goals for this year?
Obviously to try to repeat, if not improve our success from last year. Last year kind of came as a bit of a surprise. I mean, we knew we had some talent to build on, but to come out of nowhere, obviously, is a really nice treat. Hartford Tech pulled out an amazing performance. I think both of our teams were feeling the nerves and the heat that night, and we got really lucky to land. I mean, it could have gone either way, but the win here definitely fueled them to push on to the divisional semifinals, and that's a tough competition. And the kids hit the most perfect routine I think I've ever had as a coach in all of my years, and that really helped. So we landed second, and they really believed, which I think was a huge part of it, seeing some of the other competition in the state. It's tough, and these kids don't realize how good they actually are when they watch these other really good teams. So to pull it off again at states was really a dream.
What teamwork it takes. I watch you all cheer, and you've got, 20, 21 cheerleaders on the floor at one time, all doing separate things, but yet doing it together. How in the world do they mesh all that and make it work?
A lot of practice, a lot of team bonding, a lot of work on trust and respect. I think that is kind of the thing, to everybody to realize that they're putting the same amount of work in more often than not. Teenagers, obviously, some days are better than others. Some kids are more focused than others, but the collective goal and the collective focus gets them on the same page.
Boy, that's the thing I really amazed too, is how much they're friends out on the floor. Often there's competition with girls and boys in high school, but at one time, 2 minutes and 30 seconds, they have to work together.
We always say to them, take care of each other. You have 2.5 minutes, take care of each other. I always say to them, I write a little heart on my hand and I show it to them, like, I'm with you, I'm carrying you, I'm trying to give you everything I can. Do that for each other as well. And I think it makes a huge difference in how they perform, because they perform as a family.
Jessica was talking about the tumbling and the gymnastics and the dance. A lot of these young ladies and young men have been taking gymnastics and tumbling and other kinds of sports for their whole life.
Yeah, we got really fortunate to get a handful of gymnasts and all-star cheerleaders, and then we get a mix of kids who've never cheered before, who just have a hope and a dream to be a part of something special. And I think that's the great thing about high school cheerleading, is that they get to mesh and be on the same page. They get to be a part of the same team. Whether they compete, they're an alternate, they're JV, whatever it may be, there's a really amazing experience to get to mix all those backgrounds and make something of them as a collective high school team.
Well, it's a very exciting sport, one I look forward to every year. Good luck tonight.
Thank you so much.
Don't go away. It is going to be the 2018 Fall Cheerleading Championships from Hartford Technical High School. We'll be right back with the beginning in just a moment. Welcome to a very loud Beto Sanchez, Harford Technical High School. It is the Fall 2018 Cheerleading Championships. Beto, I look forward to this every year. This is an exciting event. What makes it so exciting?
I think all of the energy, the technique, the difficulty, all these various skills that all these various teams bring to the table. Every year is a new team, and what they're going to present to the judges is left to be seen.
Beto Sanchez, you've been in cheerleading for a long time, both as a cheerleader yourself at the Calvert Hall High School, Loyola. Now you are a coach of the Vipers. You've been involved in one way or another for all these years. What is it about cheerleading that keeps you coming back?
I think there are a lot of elements to it that are just challenging psychologically as an athlete, and a lot of the heart and spirit that all these guys and girls put into putting a routine in front of judges in such a short amount of time.
Great fun, and you'll see some of the crowd here tonight. This place is pretty much packed. There's going to be a lot of excitement. 14 teams tonight, both UCBAC. It's the UCBAC, meaning it's both Cecil and Harford County. You're watching as the Northeast Indians take the mat, 42 feet by 42 feet, Beto told me before we went on the air. 25 members on each squad, can be that many. Kayla Baker, Alyssa Bartolio, Carly Bauman, Elizabeth Eldrith, Kathy Ellis, Savannah Ellis, Abby Faison, Tyree Frazier, Sophia Fuentes, Madison Jennings, Jana Lagdamio, Shay Palladio, Isabella Rivera, Jasmine Rivera, Morgan Reynolds, Emily Sandborg, Christine Vasquez, Michael Westernen. These are the Northeast Indians.
And we just start off with some round-off tucks there, showing go in the back. Judges are going to be looking for creative entrance into some of these stunts. Trying not to just go up in a standard way, but just something visually different to see. Heel stretches are coming down. The timing seems good.
2 minutes and 30 seconds. They're doing stunning. They're doing jumping. They're doing pyramids, as you see. Dancing, cheering, all combined in 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
That's correct. A lot of effort in various ways. Have to keep their stamina up as well as show technique and difficulty.
When you talk about the difficulty, we'll listen as they cheer. You'll see varying degrees of difficulty these squads will perform. They get judged based on the difficulty, a maximum score, as opposed to something not quite as difficult. They wouldn't get as many points.
Correct. So they're trying to juggle doing something difficult with the risk that it may come down and get lower points versus doing something simple but doing it clean.
Beto, we talked about being a flyer, a very dangerous occupation.
It can be, depending on the training and the type of bases and spotters you have. But at times, if all goes well, it's an amazing thing to experience. All right, so some tumbling across the front here, some round-up handspring layouts, transitioning to the back. Looks like they're going to go for some pyramid.
Beto, you know as a coach, the amount of practice and the learning it takes, a lot of these kids are gymnasts, they're dancers when they come to you.
Right, they're bringing various elements together. Pyramid with a front flip, cradle, going back up, extended cupie, going back up to that lib and switching feet at various times. A little more difficult there.
And Beto, they look like they're having fun.
They hopefully are. Okay, nice outside heel stretches. Again, judges looking for the timing on how things go up and things come down, making sure the timing is together is important. And now they transition to their dance. Have some co-involvement from the guy in the back. Trying to incorporate everyone into various levels, movements, making sure it matches the music.
Very nice, 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Beto, we talked about how individual this is. You're doing your own job, but you have to be meshed with the other 20 or 25, 24, maximum 25 kids on the floor.
Correct. It can become a tricky thing to do to stay on top of what you have to do individually, such as tumbling and jumping, but yet be a part of a larger group, say as a stunt group or a pyramid. And so many sides to this. It really makes it for an interesting sport.
You know, the great thing about this is these young people cheer for their various teams, football, field hockey, soccer, whatever it is, and then they come out and they perform themselves in this tournament. So all year long, they're cheering for the other teams while they're practicing this routine, and they have 2 minutes and 30 seconds to put it on for the judges, and that's it. That's their year.
Right, I think it takes a certain mindset that a lot of cheerleaders have to support others in the sport that they choose to do and for which they cheer, and as well as themselves when they're on the mat and competing and performing and showing off what they can do.
When we talked about it being a sport, cheerleading has become a sport in the majority of counties in the state. Some people dispute that it's not a sport, it's an activity. Why would you consider it to be a sport?
There are so many elements when it comes to the scoring, as in other sports, the physical demands, the requirements for the sport, the rules, the legalities, the competition against other teams. They're all the elements that sports have. Trying to align one sport to any other isn't exactly an easy thing to do, but it has so many elements. How can you say it's not?
Well, I certainly agree that it is. The athleticism displayed by these young people, both male and female, on the floor here is something just to be seen. And the fact that they are, smiling, having fun, yet keeping that, what is an 8-count beat they have to keep?
Sure, we work off of 8 counts, and it's a number of 8 counts depending on how long the music is, and certain movements, whether it be jumps, tumbling passes, pyramids, etc., are choreographed to certain 8 counts.
Well, it is an exciting sport, and a sport that involves the entire crowd. We're going to see Falston next, the Falston High School Cougars, coached by Gene Solomon. Grace Astoria, Lauren Blum, Megan Detloff, Alexis Hess, Kaylee Avanowski, Kaylee Krug, Emily Link, Jayla Mora, Matthew Mora, Morgan Moxey, Abby Padina, Caroline Ryan, Destiny Shebridge, Peyton Simmons, Kara Snyder, Jordan Solomon, Grace Boyce, Lizzie Lawrence, and Michaela Sykes are the alternates. A big squad getting themselves psyched up, as we can hear right in front of us. Barely, we can hear ourselves.
They're ready to go.
I love the outfits too. That I guess the colorful outfits is all part of the program, impressing the judges, Beto.
Correct, and more or less uniforms that the cheerleaders wear, whether it be guys or girls, they're going to try to get some type of creativity and style to show off their school colors and still keep it in conformance with what's expected for them to be wearing on the mat.
And Beto, talk about the choreography. How does that occur, that this just doesn't happen? They go out on the floor and do some jumping around. Everything is planned.
Well, this is meant to provide entertainment, so there are different elements that either the coaches themselves provide as choreographers themselves, or they get from other people they know. Elements that require dance. Within the pyramid, certain movements of, it's what makes it seem like seamless movement up and down and holding people and catching people. There's so much that goes into considering what is entertaining for an audience to watch. Watching people who don't smile and make just blank movements is not interesting, but watching just the intricacy of things moving forward, backward, up, down, brings a whole routine together, and every coach tries to strive to do that.
Well, it is exciting. Looking around here at the crowd, we just have a shot of the crowd. You can see everyone is into it. We're just about packed on our right side of the gymnasium, left side almost packed as well. Excitement here tonight at Hartford Technical High School. As Falston, the Cougars are our second team up. They'd always ask, would you rather be the first team or the 14th team?
Probably somewhere in the middle.
Good answer. First team, you have nothing the judges to judge by, but they have to judge you right away.
Correct.
14th team, they've seen all 13 teams, and now you're judged against those other 13, I would assume.
Well, one has a preference as a coach, but for the most part, you go with what you get and make the best of it. But, yep.
And again, they have cheered all year long since August the 15th for their other teams. And now here we are in October, the end of October. They're cheering for themselves for a shot at getting into the regions and maybe the states as well. I mean, the feeling that must be in their stomachs now as you're getting ready for this, Beto. It's got to be right.
Sure, and they train for that. I'm sure there's some butterflies there and cotton mouths, but they're going to go ahead and try to put that aside and do what they've been training to do.
Love the hugs there just before. These kids are friends, too, because they are competing as a team, not as individuals. 2 minutes and 30 seconds to show what they can do.
Starting off with some standing tumblings, some standing tucks, trying to avoid any type of touching, either by knees, hips, hands. That would cost a deduction.
We talked about the gymnastics, and there you see it.
Right, with some nice patterns in terms of how the tumbling was moving forward and backward, side and side. We have 2 stunts up. Arabesque coming down again in a creative way, non-traditional.
The balance and the strength it takes to hold someone up and make it appear like it's easy.
Right, that does take training, strength. Moving into the jump section. Single jump, moving into a double jump combo. Triple now. At times mistakes are made, but cheerleaders are trained by their coaches to dismiss any possibility that you made a mistake from showing on your face or letting it affect the rest of your choreography.
Boy, how hard is that, you know? I saw Justin Tucker's face last weekend when he missed that extra point. The look of shock on his face. These kids can't let that happen. They've got to keep playing.
Correct. That takes experience, training. Keep going no matter what. Going back into a tumbling section of teams here. We just had a stunning section finish. Diagonal passes. There's a layout. Looking for the timing on two pulls, run up handspring pulls.
So much is going on at the same time. I would have trouble not running into somebody out there.
Oh, and that sometimes happens, unfortunately, but for the most part, we aim to make it seem like almost, and that is entertaining.
Yeah, scary too.
So again, here to moving on to a pyramid section. Back to a split catch, forward again to a cradle. You know, again, if you're a flyer, you're expected to have a smile on your face the whole time, take attention away from what's happening below you, and make everything you do seem seamless and not a problem.
Very good point, David.
All right. Dance section here.
Oh, very nice. I noticed, Beto, that a lot of teams like to save their dance for the end. That's sort of the fun part of it.
Correct. They're traditionally every so many years, the industry will go through phases of what to do first, second, what to finish with. Finishing with dance has been around for some time. Prior to that, a lot of teams finish with a pyramid. But at this point, they're saving their energy for the dance, I believe.
Notice as the Fall State kids are filing off the mat, no smiles, no real like hugs. They seem to think they could have done a little bit better, but I thought they did a wonderful job.
They had some issues with their stunts. The stunts that didn't go up as they intended to. They kind of came down early, had a small mistake or two with transitioning and then touching on tumbling. So some issues were had, but again, doesn't mean that everyone else is going to proceed through the evening with no problem. They too may have issues.
Beto, as a judge, what are you looking for? How many judges are there? How do they judge this performance?
The judges are looking for a number of factors to judge a performance. They're looking at elements that involve, again, the timing, the synchronization. They're looking at creativity. They're looking at the technical difficulty of stunts. There's certain rubrics that are met in terms of the number of, based on the number of kids you have on your team, what percentage of those kids need to perform a given skill in order for it to be awarded a certain point category. There's a lot that goes behind creating your routine, a lot of effort that sometimes doesn't get recognized, that the coaches of all these teams put into a lot of effort, a lot of time to make sure their kids have the best routine they can achieve, and it gets awarded the highest number of points.
See tournament director Robin Yates out there helping to make sure these mats stay together, and the cheerleaders helping as well. This is the Elkton Golden Elk squad. Myra Bowers, Mia Gaines, Rayoni Garrett, Garnett, I'm sorry, Rayoni, Fatima Gomez, Amelia Goody, Leanne Green, Jules Griffin, Leanna Gross, Caleb Harrison, Mackenzie Henderson, Monique Logan, Kiara Maple, Janaria Morris, Brielle Patchell, Shania Priestley, Jalisa Redden, Daisha Reed, Jada Rouse, Faith Prado, Acra Watson, the manager, and if I mispronounced your name, I apologize, but very impressive. The purple and gold of the Golden Elks. Guess that's purple.
Absolutely, it looks so purple to me.
It's a different kind of a purple too. The Golden Elks through the years are probably the oldest school in Cecil County. And another thing that's so impressive about this, the UCBAC, is you're seeing Cecil County teams and Harford teams competing one against the other. Bit of a delay here as the judges complete their judging on the team that just took the mat. Falston, Elkton, the third team up. We've seen the young men in each of the groups so far talk about being a male cheerleader in a group mostly dominated by females.
There's a lot of expectations on what males should be doing. There's a lot of elements they do bring to the table to the cheerleading teams. A lot of it have to do with strength, being able to support either a stunt by themselves or being able to provide more strength to a stunt group, and just their style, and again the variety that they bring to choreography helps at times make it something more interesting to watch. But again, the expectation is that they do their job well and that they do something that's entertaining and difficult.
Boy, that's a good phrase, entertaining and difficult. So they are performers. They're entertaining the crowd, in this case entertaining the judges, leading the cheers. Can't forget that's what they are, cheerleaders. So it's both difficult, and it's entertaining, and it's also a performance. That's
Correct.
hard to combine all three of those.
As I said earlier, there's a lot going on, and they have to find a way to bring that at this moment to the judges, and not just vary from that in terms of confidence or just energy. You have to keep their energy up for this time, no matter what place they're put in, first, second, third, fourth, and fifth to perform. And right now, I think they're trying to keep their emotions cool and calm and save their energy for the mat.
And again, think about this. Some of these young ladies and young men have been doing this since they were 5 years old, or maybe even younger. Tumbling, gymnastics, dancing, and it all comes together here again for 2 minutes and 30 seconds where you put it on the line, and now it's just how you can combine your efforts to make this happen. And it doesn't happen overnight. We talked about they're cheerleading for their team, but they also have to be practicing this routine.
Correct. They definitely practice a lot of material. Sideline material, cheers, chants, and then obviously all these routine elements, the stunting, the tumbling, the jumping.
Dan John, by the way, is our MC tonight, our PA announcer, the person playing the music. His daughter, by the way, Samantha John, is the coach of Joppatown, and his wife, the former coach of Joppatown, so sort of kept in the family there. I noticed that a lot of the judges, as they came in, were giving you hugs and so forth. I got no hugs from the judges. What's that all about?
I've coached, I think I've been around the sport quite a number of decades. I've coached some of the judges personally and myself, and just a lot of familiar faces in the room.
And we talked about they still like you, even though you coached them.
Hopefully. It's good to hear.
Some of my old players who played for me, I'm not sure that they would consider me huggable, if you know what I'm saying. Well, after that 5-minute delay now, the Elkton Golden Elks ready to take the mat. Here they go.
You may begin when ready.
Silence.
Killing up the music.
To maintain that air of this happens all the time, right? Something's happening probably with the music, so they're trying to cue it up.
Right, and they're taught to keep their emotions cool and calm while they're waiting for the music to start. The adrenaline, I'm sure, is pumping through their veins.
Technology, it's the bane of our existence, I tell folks.
There seems to be some technical difficulty, but they're making the best of it. This does happen from time to time.
I think I have a ball-peen hammer that's probably, just give it a whack.
Just a technical difficulty, no big deal. Things happen. Right? Don't worry about it. You're really great anyway.
Well, we have a moment. I want to thank Emily Knowles, also the athletic director here at Hartford Tech. I mean, the work that's gone into putting this on, being the host school, it's amazing.
All right, look, shake it out. Loosen up. Don't get stiff over there.
Dan John says, let's shake it out a bit. The music is coming. Trust me.
I think their coach or whoever's playing the music is back. Here we go. Starting off with some motions, various patterns as they open up and go up into nice tight stunts. Again, judges looking for that stability up in the air. The timing and pulling those heel stretches up, making sure no knees are bent. And
wow, nice high toss.
looking for a good pop on those pull downs, the dismounts. Transition now into tumbling side to side. Transitioning now into the next formation, seems to be jumps. Judges again are looking for not a walking type of motion, but arms tight by their sides. transitioning again to the next section.
Just finding your spot on the mat is hard enough.
Sure. The timing and technique for all these skills are what they're looking for. Full twisting toe touches out of the last two. Queuing up some stunts, looking like 3 of them going up in the air. We'll see what they're going up for. Have some libs at prep level. Center trying to pull it up sharply. Judges are looking again for the body positions. These arabesques right here. Coming down in a synchronized fashion always helps. Even how they're aligned front to back and left to right, the judges are looking for the transition in without bobbling and moving around. They've done that rather well. So a back tuck center, going up again. The back is supporting it as a brace, front flipping off. And again, looking for smiles, accuracy. Back hand springing in. Good bit of variety use of the floor here for this team in terms of putting up stunts. They're using various areas of the floor, trying to get their technique together and sharp.
Beto, the teamwork that it takes, I hope folks realize this just doesn't happen overnight.
Now it takes some time to perfect for the flyers to gain confidence, but now watching the dance, same thing here. The timing on the sides.
Wow. And the crowd loves it.
Sounds like a good audience support. That was the Elks coming off the floor.
And it's okay. The Elkton Golden Elks, there they are. We'll take a little break here. We'll come back in just a moment. We'll have the North Harford Hawks on the mat. We're back just in time to see the North Harford Hawks on the mat. Taylor Dean, Ethan Ryan, Cassie Scarborough, Sierra Giordano, Kylie Testerman, Kate Salampi, Kaylin Shue, Olivia Waldsmith, Gabby G. Jesus, Jocelyn Robinson, Jules Jackson, Tori Sims, Alexis Beatty, Tori Hanna, Maddie Gress, Ellie Evans, Carly Galbraith, Paige Clark, coaches Donna Thatcherick, Bree Gress, and Cindy Eveline.
And we had an intro happen with some intro tumbling there. We had someone who over-rotated on the mat and fell to their hips, but quickly caught up to the next stunt group, try to make that work. Again, the concept is to keep going no matter what, and don't let anything that went wrong affect your future choreography.
And Beto, this is a relatively smaller squad. Is it more difficult to get high points with a smaller squad or a bigger squad?
The size doesn't matter so much as doing it well, executing it correctly, and doing some difficult skills. So size doesn't really hold you back. It's how well you do what you do. Looks like we're going to go into some tumbling again right here. Run up handsprings. Trying to get as many of their girls to do that as possible right now to get awarded higher points. Looking out to the side, same thing. Run up handsprings to the side. Round up handsprings coming forward, out of the corner, round up handspring and a full twist.
Wow, impressive. You could tell she was happy about that.
Transitioning into basket tosses. Again, judges are looking for the timing, the height on these, the difficulty.
Wow. Beto, notice the two mascots in the front. You've got a hawk and something, a bear, I think.
Cheer bears are pretty common, and I think that's what we have, a cheer bear and a hawk. Looking again at the pyramid here. Some arabesques on the side, transitioning up. And we have two extended stunts, transitioning over to one in the center, two posts on the side, back tuck. Again, judges are looking for good technique on all these. The body positions they're hitting, they're known, and they're expected to hit them no matter what's happening below them. Sides are doing well by smiling and trying to keep the energy and positivity going. Transitioning in here into the looks like the dance. Looking for the synchronization on both the left side and the right side of the mat. Everyone in the back should be doing the same thing. Timing is big. Smile, energy.
Oh, I like the finish. Beto, the great thing about it is every performance, every choreographic is so different one from the other.
Correct, and that's why, again, these rubrics help for their coaches to keep sure that they're using the right difficulty and elements to get awarded as many points as possible.
Well, that's the North Harford Hawks. Up next, the Bow Manor Eagles. Will be back with them in just a moment. We are back with you just in time to watch the Bow Manor Eagles taking the mat, not to be confused with the Aberdeen Eagles. This is the Cecil County Bohemia Manor High School Eagles. Annalise Vilsack, Hannah Cole, Mackenzie Cordry, Juliana DeSolo, Kylie Dupiski, Taylor Edmond, Rachel Fisher, Kelly Horlocker, Madison Howard, Autumn Lengeman, Susanna Lilly, Alexandra Link, Kara Palmer, Alexis Preston, Zoe Rhodes, Brooke Zubelek, Noel Shannon, Alexis Story, Logan Strong, Haley Sun, Sarah Tucker, Chloe Williams, and Olivia Jo Wilson. Coached by Michelle Smeda and Kaylee Funk, the Bohemia Manor Eagles.
So we've seen some tumbling in the introduction there. Some standing tucks just finished up. Good energy and presentation along the front. Again, the judges will be happy to see that. Timing on basket toss is important, the height. Again, they're transitioning with some smiles and energy, and that will be carried across positively onto the score sheets. Good volume. Judges are looking for that as well when it comes to cheer. Timing on the jumps, triple jump sequence there.
Taylor, that's the one thing you can't lose track of. These are cheerleaders, so their job is to lead cheers.
Correct.
Just to perform.
Correct. Trying to get the audience involved in what they say and do. Fully engage them and the judges in what they're doing. Now again, if something goes wrong, key to keep going. A lot of the bases there are smiling. That's good. Make everyone forget if anything negative happened.
Beto, correct me if I'm wrong, safety is an issue that you can be docked a lot of points if you have a safety fault.
Correct. There's a lot of safety that goes behind this just because of the dangerous elements when it comes to tumbling at times or stunts. Anything that involves someone getting thrown up into the air and getting caught again. So the rubrics help guide this, the rules help guide this, and good training of the cheerleaders helps guide this. Again, some tumbling into the corners, out of the sides. Judges looking for synchronization for the two people tumbling at the same time. So round offs into some of these cradles.
That's pretty neat.
Transitioning into a common center for the pyramid. Smiles up top. Again, they're trying to stay stable and in place. Entertain with the center smiling there the whole time. Back, forward, keep her moving as long as possible, and doing as many difficult things as possible is very helpful. 3 up, libs in and out. Now they're moving in for the finale, I believe. Going into the dance.
The fun part.
Again, keep everything together. Certain sections will be choreographed with 2 other people. Sometimes they're by themselves doing their own unique choreography. And finishing strong.
And there they are, the Bow Manor Eagles.
Good color scheme.
Excellent, excellent job. You can see the smiles, how happy they are that maybe relief, Beto, is part of it. We did a good job, but it's over.
Sure. There's nothing knowing like you walked off the floor and the routine's done, you can breathe again.
Beto, we talk about your night job, and that is as the Vipers coach. Talk about the Vipers, who they are, what they do, how do they prepare young people to be cheerleaders in high school and beyond?
Vipers is one of a handful of all-star programs. It started in 1999. This program and other programs helps take various age cheerleaders either from rec or from their schools and helps compete them in a different type of a venue, a different arena, usually out of state, and bigger competitions that result hopefully at times ending up in Orlando, Florida and Disney for either a huge national or international competition.
And oh, by the way, during the day, you happen to be a pathologist with the University of Maryland School of Medicine, an assistant professor at that school. I mean, so that's sort of like the job you do between your cheerleading gigs, right?
Correct. I'm down at the School of Medicine doing a various number of things related to, as you said, pathology. But on my off time, I switch between the world of cheerleading and, again, the world of medicine and biomedical research.
Well, you know, what a wonderful dichotomy of the two, where you have a very, very serious job, obviously, and then you have a job that's serious but a lot of fun as well.
I agree.
Again, something you've been doing for all these years and enjoying it, something that keeps you coming back, and there's no end to what you may end up, how many years you may do this.
Absolutely. I'm going to be around for a little bit longer for sure.
For sure, and of course you do a wonderful job at developing all this talent that we have in Harford County. Now that noise you hear behind us, that's the Rising Sun Tigers. They are excited.
They are. They're getting pumped up, getting the adrenaline going, excitement.
Even with a cowbell from Rising Sun. I like it, I like it. Alyssa Allen, Skylar Black, Shelby Eller, Leanna Firkin, Rihanna Ford, Alyssa Grafton, Peyton Hayden, Taylor Howell, Alyssa, I should say, Hurd, Kara Keene, Jesse, is that Marcinko, excuse me, Jessica. Deja Martinez, Katie McElhinney, Maya Meenan, Erica O'Brien, Cheyenne Peterson, and Madison Stewart. Hard enough, typed, a little harder handwritten, but we do the best we can.
I think you're doing pretty good. You're doing pretty good, Don.
Thank you. Melissa Davison and Jake Valley are the coaches of this team, the Rising Sun Tigers. Orange and black, sort of Tiger colors. I should say my wife's alma mater, by the way.
Oh, okay.
So she has to, I have to say good things about it, because if she sees this and I say something bad about Rising Sun, I'll be in trouble. Again, a relatively, let's count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16. In the old days, let's go back 10 years, they had a small squad, 14 and under, and then a large squad, 15 and above, up to 25. Now, you can have any number you have as long as it doesn't exceed 25. I asked you the question before, Beto, is it easier, better, easier to win having a small squad or a bigger squad? So expound upon that if you would.
What I'm getting at with that is that the size of the athletes on the floor doesn't really predispose you to do better one way or another. It's really mastering the technique behind the difficulty, doing a really good job of entertaining with some difficult skills and doing them clean. It doesn't matter if you do something difficult and you fail at it, that's not going to get you a good score on the score sheet. At the same time, if you keep it really simple and do it well, you may get beaten out by someone who tries to push the borders and the edges of trying to present more difficulty on the floor.
Very good point. You were talking about scoring, and again, let's go over that. How are these teams scored? Or these individuals and the team scored?
So again, in general, the coaches are trying to get as many athletes as possible to do a number of skills. A lot of it is based off ratios, the number of kids, and looking at percentages in terms of how many, what percent of those kids are expected to do certain skills, 50% or 75% or greater. So we'll see what they do on the floor in terms of numbers.
Here they come, the Rising Sun Tigers from Cecil County, cowbell and all.
And they're set.
Very loud. I like it.
Starting with jump sequence, hurdler, toe touch, toe touch. Again, looking for some straight legs on there, toes pointed. The spacing on the floor is important. You have a center and two groups on the outside. Coming out of those stunts in a more creative way is helpful. They did a good job coming down. Now they're going back up. Arabesques. Getting those back legs and horizontal.
Beto, they do that thing in team building where you fall backwards and depend on your teammates to catch it. Well, these kids do it about 20 times in a round.
They do, and the Flyers need to feel that their bases can totally catch them should something go wrong and support them. And that's important. It takes time to train through that. So again, here we have some choreography with two posts on the side, doing some stunts, and we'll have some front flips, front pikes, going up to libs and stretches. Looks like they're going to transition into their cheer.
Very solid. You can tell, very good balance.
Two shoulder sits and extension in the center while they're cheering is nice. Different levels. Eyes go up high, eyes go to the middle, eyes go down to ground level. Good volume, good variety.
Yeah, and they did a lot more cheering than the other groups. I understand it's only 8 beats, so you have to do the cheers, but you can do the vocal cheers longer if you like.
Looking for 2 8 counts at least, and anything else. I think doing a little bit additional, but it was very good. Good volume and good variety. Transitioning now with the music in a 3 tosses, it seems like, with some incomplete turning. Some issues here and there, but again, I've been seeing a team without issues, and making the best of it that you can is what matters here. Moving on with the routine, and let's see if they can make the next stuff look clean and sharp. All right, center group, lid, looks like there's someone in the back going up. Prep helping the sides go up. All right, front flipping through to it, grabbing the outsides, pulling libs.
Boy, what great variety. And notice this squad didn't finish with their dance. They did their dance in the middle.
Correct, and it was
So a whole different choreography going on with that group.
I was speaking of that earlier. In past decades, sometimes you finish with a pyramid and then dance, and this group went back to finishing with the pyramids. Nothing wrong with that.
I like their enthusiasm. This group may be the loudest that we've had so far, and again, that's what we're talking about. Cheerleading is being able to, voice your cheers and get everybody to support you.
They seem happy with their performance.
Yeah, you can see the tears, the smiles. Again, it's relief. It's we did a good job. We've been practicing since August the 15th. And the cowbell accompanying the group. Excellent job. Again, we talk about the components of being an athlete, and that is strength, balance, agility, all the things that these young people combine, and confidence. And then you add that enthusiasm and the fact that you can lead others to be able to join you. That makes cheerleading sort of a unique sport. You're playing football, you don't care, you just do your job. You're cheerleading, you have to influence everybody else.
True, but as even with both sports, as we were talking about earlier, the similarity of this sport to others, it requires confidence, it requires technique, and it requires physical ability. Whether we're talking football or cheerleading, it all requires those three elements at least. And here we have another team coming up, another co-ed team, it seems, with two guys.
Yeah, the Perryville Panthers are up next. They're the last of our first 7 groups. We'll have an intermission after this group. Perryville, the dark blue and gold. And again, Dale, one of the great things I love about the UCBAC is it does combine Cecil County with Harford County. That you get now the 5 schools from Cecil County, the 10 schools from Harford County, less Aberdeen, who doesn't have a team here in this championship. I like that combination of the 2 counties.
Well, they're in the huddle. I missed catching another guy as part of the team, but now this is the team that we are going to see for the first time with the most number of males. So we'll see what they perform, knowing that they have 3 guys on the team to help contribute.
Yeah, I think we've seen maybe 2 on one of the teams before and 1 on a couple of the others now. 3 guys, and it is a relatively small squad. I didn't count them, about 14 or so as they come out. So they may have a different sort of a dynamic with the 3 men on the floor.
Exactly. So let's see what they do.
Perryville High School, the Panthers, from just across the river, the twin city of Havre de Grace. They every year have the Susquehanna Bowl. Their team members, Aliyah Brown, Ariana Sewell-Clorer, Allie Lazari, Alyssa Montgomery, Colin Hubb, Corrine Mahan, Faith Brown, Hannah Linton, Jonathan Holloway, Tyrez Means, Wendy Ayers, and Yanae Baker. And if I mispronounce your names, young people, excuse me, but that's the best we can do at this point. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Only 11, 3 of whom are male. There's a future cheerleader. You've got to sign her up for the Vipers.
Sounds like a good plan.
Now you have the Vipers are from what age to what age?
They range as young as 3, 4, moving all the way up through past their teen years, and some people who are even in their first year of college or so.
I think she's 3 years old. We don't have to look at her birth certificate. We can recruit her.
Sounds good.
I saw some of the young people from Bel Air that you were talking to, Beto, who are, they call them sister cheerleaders or something. So they're younger sisters of the cheerleaders that are cheering for Bel Air, here to support their team.
Correct. And we find this season after season, the amount of support that some of these teams give for an opposing school. We really don't see that in too many other sports, especially some of the male-dominated sports. But in this instance, it's a good dynamic to have. No need for anything aggressive or not supportive. We find a lot of support between teams and schools, and that's to be appreciated in this community.
Well, that's a very good point, too. We'll see this at the end of this, where they all gather on the mat, all the teams, and they do their dances together. And you can see the camaraderie. I'm going to try that word again. Camaraderie?
Camaraderie.
Thank you so much. Between the groups, that they realize how hard what they're doing is. Here are the Panthers of Perryville, our 7th team in the competition here, 7 of 14.
And look at the way this they set up on the floor. This again is trying to add some variety and some entertainment to an unusual way to line up and start. But let's see what that brings. Tumbling. These toe touches, the handsprings, but again, the judges are making sure that they're timed together. Anytime there's any touching or hits, there'll be some deductions. But again, they're pushing the border, they're trying some more difficult things, incorporating all the males. 2 stunts up, tumbling in the center. Trying to get the timing together is important.
Beto, tough being a judge because so much is going on at the same time.
Correct. There's a lot to look at. With experience as a judge, though, they can find out many of the details when it comes to the timing or the difficulty of execution. But even bring some dance elements to the floor right now. That's some new and entertaining skills. Coming up to the sides of the center. So again, aerial across the front. They have 2 stunts going up. Looking for smiles on those faces up top. Good technique, feet together and toes pointed, legs locked out, and those pull downs. Trying to match up those arm motions when they're up in the air, making sure they're doing the same thing on both sides of the floor is important. 1 basket toss. Wow, full twist second. Looks like we're going back to more tumbling. Guy across the front, some of the girls. Handsprings here, 2 guys out of the corners. Round off tucks. Transition pass. Finished all the way to a layout. So good smiles from the center. Looking for stability on the side, stay tight. The more that the Flyers can make it seem that it's effortlessly being done, bigger smiles and engaging the judges into their eyes, it's better for them on the score sheet. Definitely don't want to make it seem like I'm having a hard time up there. Transition out of the dance. All right.
Very nice. Again, Beto, one of the things I'm really impressed with is the variety. No 2 teams have the same routine.
Right, and this team did bring some different elements the way they started. Some of their movements in the center and then some of what the guys did.
Very interesting. Now, don't go away. We're going to take a little break here at the intermission. We're going to come back with C. Milton Wright, who was last year's champion, followed 1 team later by Hartford Tech, who finished 2nd last year. So the real, let's say, competition, at least pre-tournament competition, coming up after the break. We'll be right back. We are back with you at Hartford Technical High School. Almost said C. Milton Wright High School because it is the Mustangs who are taking the floor. Beto, the defending champion, C. Milton Wright Mustangs. It looks like brand new uniforms. I haven't seen those black uniforms before.
Yes, I hear they're new, kind of fancy and shiny at the top, all bedazzled. Hopefully that helps their score and presenting a good visual display of what they do.
Jessica Autry, McKenna Burke, Reagan Hare, Sierra Johnson, Evan Leonard, Maddie Lesniewski, Paige Malloy, Alexis Murray, Allison Ritz, Lydia Vanicki, Sydney Kimmy, Victoria O'Malley, Kendall Saunders, Emma Glendon, Lily Glover, Natalie Hopkins, Kira Kelly, Natasha Slutsky, Lexi Calvizero, Brooke Emerson, and Miranda Holmes. That is the C. Milton Wright squad. A different formation, Beto, than we've seen before.
Right, and we're seeing some got some corner, center. You're gonna see some tumbling out of the corners.
You can tell how confident they are. They've just got that look about them.
Yep, look at that introductory position. They're tumbling out of the corner. Whip, hand, full. Another more full, timing out of the corner. 3 more fulls out of the corner. Kind of layout. Tons of fulls, tons of layouts. Let's see if they keep it clean. Creative way to enter the cradle. 3 stunts going up. three sports. Their timing is looking good. Three are staying up in the air. Three pull downs. Seems like they completed that whole intro stunt sequence. Hopefully the judges will reward that. Tumbling, trying to put as many people hips overhead tumbling as possible. Little bump on that transition. 2 stunts out of 3. One stunt came down early, but again, keep pushing through, jump sequence. So tucks are in. See some tumbling in that cheer. Keep those smiles going, that's important. There's so much involved, you're trying not to look tired, you're trying to keep your energy up. So again, we're seeing more tumbling, layout, tuck into tuck, layout again, 3 people coming out of the corner. Wow. So 3 full twists, another full twist there.
Tato, I just have to say amazing.
Basket toss with 1, 2, 3. It's important to find that timing so the judges know if they're supposed to be staggered or all at once. All right, 2 sides on that pyramid. Nice stretches, high, knees locked out. Have a little difficulty down there.
Having a little trouble getting it back together after they had that bobble.
Correct, important to keep it going. One stunt group is still pushing through. Transition now dance. Looking for smiles, execution with the timing.
They have to be very disappointed with that bobble that really seemed to disrupt their flow there, Beto, about 3/4 of the way through the performance.
They had a lot of strong points in the routine. I mean, some of the tumbling was good. The basket tosses, not too bad, but they did have some issues with their stunting.
Megan Steinhauer and Amanda Turner, the coaches of this team. Remember, these are the defending champions, Sea Motorbike Mustangs, who finished 3rd in the state in the 1A, 2A classification last year. As you can see, they're filing off the floor, not wanting to show their disappointment, but I'm sure, Beto, they have to be a little bit upset that they didn't complete a spotless routine.
Right, I see a possible injury on the side, and again, injuries are something that plague just about any sport. This sport is no different, and trying to overcome that as it's happening is difficult. And again, even switching people out when someone has to be taken out because of a concussion or some other break, it's a difficult situation to do. You only have so many people who can do the job that the routine has, and in terms of choreography, it's tough to be a coach sometimes and have a loss because of an injury.
We've talked about injuries off air. This is a sport that has more than a share of injuries because of all the activity you see on the floor. The tosses, the movement, knees, ankles, a lot of those kind of situations occur.
And some of the spots are so unique, it's difficult to make everyone interchangeable to that spot. So sometimes you have to lose or go without something after there's been an injury.
Very good point. It alters your routine, not only during the routine where something might happen, but before the routine. Maybe your key player is out. You have to make what you practice for, you have to sort of alter and come up with a new plan.
And sometimes, frighteningly, that happens as early as warming up behind the gym and getting ready. Sometimes injuries happen there and you have to rearrange.
And just the variety of feelings that young people have when one night you're on, one night you're not. We're talking about 16, 17-year-old kids. You know, even adults, as we can see, have issues sometimes. But when you're a young teenager trying to get it together every night, some nights you just don't do it well, and some nights it all clicks.
And there's some amazing coaches, obviously great family and parent support, and trying to teach these young athletes how to persevere when there are difficulties that are met in front of them.
The Edgewood Rams, Danielle Strange and Amanda Sivyard are the 2 coaches getting ready for their team. Gabby Bell, McKenna Borgia, Alexis Brenham, Sienna Simino, Genesis coach Justice Debris, Kaylee Divarak, Crystal Hortzfeld, Nasa Jones, Trinity Kinsler, Marianne Mubarak, excuse me, Marianne, Amelia Nicely, Angelique Prosser, Daniel Phone, Sherilyn Rivera, Delaney Salzberg, Desiree Smith, Courtney Williams, Kiara Williams, Taylor Winchester, managers Candace McKnight and Victoria Jewell. The Edgewood Rams, Edgewood, Maryland, the red, white, and black. One thing we didn't talk about, and that is the outfits. Notice they all have the same headbands, the same little bows and so forth.
Right, so uniforms more so than outfits, and those bows, again, usually match the uniform colors and try to bring some additional style to the hairline.
Daniel Strange and Amanda Sivard, the coaches for Edgewood, and here they are, the Edgewood Rams.
All right, starting off with a bowling pin formation, going into a basket toss with some tumbling at the same time. That's a good intro. Standing handsprings, stuck in the center in a basket toss. Again, good variety. 3 stunts are going up in the back. Now, regardless of what they do, now we're looking at 4 stunts. I don't think I've seen 4 stunts today until right now. No matter they're 4 or 6, we need them to be done well, and hopefully some difficult body positions or transition moves as we're seeing right here. New section. Looking like they're going to create a way to get into jumps. Hurdler, toe touch, hurdler, back to toe touch. 4 jumps.
Wow. With the amount of energy it takes to maintain this for 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Right, and then we move into the next section with, again, tumbling and sides and back to front with some tucks. Again, they're trying to keep the timing together. Doesn't matter if they're just going to do it. If they're doing it with someone else, they should be doing it at the same time.
Nice recovery there.
And this sport is very much about recoveries. You don't always get the best grip or the best footing, and you have to keep going and not let that show in your face or on the next thing you've been tasked to do.
Now the cheering.
Good volume, but keep those motions sharp. Bringing it back in, music starts up again. Moving a handspring into some a pyramid section. 2 shoulder sits on the side. Helping with those inside arabesque. Coming down at different times. Taking the center. Front flipping that in a pike. And again, some creative cradles out of that pyramid section right there. Going back up. Again, trying to have a lot of movement and coming down in an awkward way. Seems like we're hitting the dance section right now. Finishing this up. Again, trying to show a variety of movements that can be done together in synchronization is good.
Oh, nice. Very nice. I am impressed with the energy that they showed out there. A large squad, bigger than most Edgewood teams we've seen in the past.
Right, your question coming back again. So again, this is the team that we've seen 4 stunt groups go up in the air, yet that doesn't mean that they're a shoe into to win. Everyone has to do what they're choreographed to do well. And again, hopefully no mistakes or as few mistakes as possible.
Very good point. And again, we talked about the injuries. Beto, you've been around this sport for a long, long time. The injuries that we see are very, very tough sometimes to deal with.
Correct. And sometimes, yeah, much like every other sport, if a concussion's too severe, it'll pull the athlete out. If it's a bone break, same thing. Hopefully it's minor issues that can be dealt with over a practice or 2, and then the girls and guys can get back in there.
You know, you see some of the crowd, some of the very enthusiastic crowd. It's always this way at the cheerleading championships. The great thing I like is that you see the wide variety of colors, the support that each team has from not only parents and grandparents and aunts and uncles, but classmates and friends.
Right, and we're not hearing any negative reactions here to anything coming down or anyone falling, or there's none of that, and that's always a positive.
Beto, the next team up, the Hartford Tech Cougars, we're looking at the wall. They are the 03-04 county champions and the champions in 2010-2011. Last year they were in 2nd place. They would like to do nothing better than dethrone the Seymour Tonight Mustangs.
And here you hear some of the home mat support.
The Hartford Tech Cougars, the black and gold and white of Hartford Tech. The home court, if you will.
Right.
So they have to be pleased. Beyonce Kelly, India Smith, Kiana Mack, Natalie Talbot, Gracie Ford, Carson Cook, Lyric, Kelly, Haley Balowich, Samantha Pyle, Hunter Ray Green, Summer Rose Peters, Nia Ray, Jassy Nierwinski, Kelsey Huski, Lindsay Bullock, Bailey Schwartz. That's the Hartford Tech Cobras. Coached by Jessica Holmes. Again, finished second in the fall meet last year here, and then second in the state in the Class 1A, 2A.
And again, we're looking at a pretty good-sized team here, much like we just went on the floor in terms of, I guess, a good depth, getting ready to take the mat on, lining up there in the back. Andrew had a good number of athletes, and here we see Tech.
Hartford Tech, the 10th team to compete. We have Haverty Base, Bel Air, Patterson Mill, and Jobbatown left here in the 2018 Fall Championships. Beto, we didn't have the Winter Championships last year. They weren't able to get it together, the teams, to have a competition. We're so happy that we're back here doing the cheerleading championships.
I think right now they're waiting for the judges to finish tallying up the previous team, I guess, and waiting for the music to start.
And Beto, guess what? This is our 25th year with the Hartford Cable Network on air, bringing high school sports to Hartford County. I'm really proud of that. 25 years.
Should be. A lot of support for, again, a lot of these county families, and you see Cecil County as well, all of them, to just see their children grow up and engage in a number of sports, not only cheerleading. It's a great thing.
And we say hi to all of our live streaming fans that are watching us here live as this occurs. This is a new thing this year.
Technology at its finest as it's happening.
25 years. Beto, when I started, I was a young man. No, I wasn't. But now I'm just older.
We all are. Apparently time doesn't stop, and these girls could definitely wait for time to speed up so they can get all that adrenaline out and get started. Trying to keep that anxiety at bay.
In 1994, where were you?
In 1994, I was finished high school, was going into college.
Makes me sick. That's when we started 25 years ago. This is their home school. This has to be an advantage for them, Beto.
You'd think. They know this gym.
Yeah, and it's their home mat. They practice on this mat. They feel comfortable here.
All right. Let's see.
You can see that bit of attitude they have, that positive attitude.
Volume a little bit low, but tumbled into this formation. Standing tumbling. Feels like just about everybody through that. That means it'll be rewarded better. Oh, there again. A large, more than 75% of that team is throwing those skills. They'll get higher pointage on the score. Switching up, heel stretches, so again, more difficult. And we see a lot of stability up in the air.
Wow.
Oh. Again, recovery. Going back up, pulling up these squirts. Down to a scale, arabesque.
Oh, very steady.
Pull down. Still again showing a lot of body positions in the air, rather stable. Dismount. Toe touch, the ground, toe touch into basket toss. Now we have a pike. Curl on a toe touch. 3 jumps, looking for those toes pointed though. We're hearing the cheer over the music. Looks like I'm about to do more tumbling. Remember, Don, the timing on that, the timing. Timing is important. Synchronization. Whip pass, handspring, back to a layout. Wow. Layout again. A full twist out of that corner. Full twist out of this corner.
Beto, I am just in awe of the athletic ability of these young ladies.
They're definitely keeping the routine moving, not a lot of downtime, not even a lot of transition time. Very short distances they're covering before doing something else. And now we're going up to the pyramid. Little ball up catches and an inside stags. Forward cradle out of that, transition back up. Again, we're seeing a good bit of variety, a lot of different movements in the air, a lot of body positions, and rather good stability. Taking that split, flipping it back. Now outside stretches again. Look at the faces of the girls up in the air. That's important. Again, make everything seamless. Make it look like it's easy.
Now the fun part.
Well, I think they're energized. They felt like they had the stunts went well, and Let's see how sharp they can stay, and there's smiles.
A little bit of sass there. I like it.
Right? Get it sharp.
Wow. I've said that word a lot tonight. Wow.
So they did rather well. They should be very happy with their performance.
Fan in the stands. He liked it. He's a cheerleader. Let's hear it for the Cobras.
I'm guessing as a family member on there.
I'm thinking. I'm certainly not a judge, but it would be hard for me to mark anything down on this team. They look like they did a perfect routine.
They had some timing issues, a small little mistake here or two, but for the most part, again, for this being one of the larger teams we've seen, we definitely saw a lot of consistency in their tumbling, in their timing, and the difficulty of the stunts they executed.
And
well done.
You can see the smiles and the tears of happiness.
Well done.
They know they did what they came here to do, and that was to put on a very, very impressive performance. The Hartford Tech Cobras. Next up, the Havre de Grace Warriors. Jade Vincini, Haley Menser, Savannah Briggs, Sierra Briggs, Haley Bushwhacker, Emma Jones, Annabelle Rosso, Kara Lynch, Christina Rodriguez, Jadlyn Johnson, Anna Jones, Kaylin Reed, Alea Veal, Peyton Conkling, Haley Hurst, Ekri Alston, Cassidy Anderson, Brianna Pressberry, Delana Washington, Lexi Colhelp. She's injured but with the team. Havre de Grace Warriors, the maroon, black, and white, warming up beside us, getting fired up.
Here we go. Another team ready to take the floor.
Beto, it's hard not to be fired up to be around these young people. I want to get out there and cheer. No, I don't. Let the record show, no, I don't. But you, being a cheerleading expert, I expect you to just take your headset off and go out there and do a split or something. No?
Not just yet. Not just
tonight,
yet. Sometimes age gets the best of us, but
I think wisdom is the word. Wisdom.
both.
Yeah. They tell me that wisdom is when you understand you'll never be good at golf. I've reached that point in my life. I play a lot now more than I did when I was actually working, but I'm no better. I'm trying to shoot my age, Beto. That means I have to get old quickly. Because I'm not going to get a lot better.
Well, hopefully
The Havre de Grace Warriors waving to their fans. How do you deal with those emotions, Beto, when you're standing there waiting to come on?
typically your coach reminds you about your breathing, not letting it get out of control and breathing through your mouth, but in through your nose and out through your mouth. Trying to keep focused on what it is that you've been trained to do and then not let your mind go crazy places.
Yeah, easy to say, hard to do.
And that linchpin waiting for the music to start is always a trigger for everyone to just let that adrenaline loose. So everyone just can't wait for the music to start. And I think they're in a little bit of a wait right now. Judges still tabulating, looks like.
We have now seen 10 of our teams, including C. Milterite and Hartford Tech, the odds-on favorites coming in based on their performance last year. We still have to see Havre de Grace now, Bel Air, Patterson Mill, and Joppatown, the 14 teams that will round us out here at the 2018 Fall Championships. There he is, Captain America. He's got his pom-pom, a future cheerleader perhaps, a superhero nonetheless.
They're a great fan and supporter.
I like it. The fans are into it.
Now taking the back, the Havre de Grace Warriors.
The Warriors from Havre de Grace.
Large team, perhaps going to start with some standing tumbling. Some motions. Handsprings out from the center. Again, trying to incorporate as many athletes as possible. Transitioning into probably some stunting now. Nope. Jump sequence. And again, as we said, every routine is different. And it brings some novelty and interest as to what's going to happen next. Keeping those motions together and defined, important, some tumbling into their cheer. And compared to some of the teams that cheer kind of came early on, other teams have been waiting further in the routine to do that. We have some basket tosses. Has some right-up handsprings to the front. Basket tosses again. Lib, and no issue in the back. Again, keep those cradles clean, knees locked out when you get caught.
Beto, your heart breaks a little bit for a bobble like that. You know, you just know how disappointed they are.
And there's no redo right now. Got to keep going.
Yep.
There's some timing issues in the back, but again, the front is trying to keep the routine moving with their tumbling. Holding a lib there, center. Transition, trying to keep those arms straight. Don't ever make it seem like you're walking. Like 5 round up tucks there, some more tumbling to the front. More tucks. And again, some of these mats are not very forgiving. One thing we're going to talk about, even on this more difficult pass here, round up handspring full twist. Find another one out of the corner. Yep, there's 2 of them. And the third one down the center. These mats aren't usually what gymnasts are used to. They're used to spring floors that are very absorbent and bounce them off. This is a little bit harder on the wrists and ankles.
And dancing.
Right? Trying to show some levels. Different formations. But again, watch the timing.
Very nice.
Okay.
African Warriors, great job. Beto, a little bit different this year. We don't have a Cecil County champion and a Hartford champion, just one champion tonight. And also, we won't know who's going to go to the regions. It depends on the scoring. In other words, how many points you get compared to other teams that are having their competitions tonight as well. I understand it'll be the top 4 teams that go to the regions based again on scoring. It could be all 4 from this competition or none from this competition, depending on how the scores turn out.
There seems to be a constant evolution of how it is that teams progress to the next level, and in today's age, things and competitions that are happening in other places still haven't been considered, and so yeah, you don't really know just yet. Looks like we have Bel Air lining up.
It is another one of the favorites, pre-tournament favorites, the Bel Air Bobcats, coached here by Allison Binfield, Lauren Carbo, Madison Hermanis, Ashley Adams, Anna Rose Mirak, Amanda Cooper, Carmen Davenport, Madison Hume, Gabrielle Pasco, Diana Riggs, Emily May, Grace Lorin, Linda Villarule, Savannah Schreiber, Riley King, Lena Hall, Alex Cashman, Annabelle Delaney, Anna Barth, Mackenzie Holmes, Emily Slater, coaches Allison Binfield, Jessica Groom, and Brittany Keller. That's the Bel Air Bobcats.
A lot of energy there, getting fired up.
Yeah, I couldn't hear myself talk with all that noise.
I couldn't hear you either there,
Oh, wait a minute, it's cheerleading. That's right. It's fun because the teams come on the floor right next to our broadcasting spot here, so we get to watch them with all the enthusiasm they have before they go on the mat.
Now again, they have a different lineup formation here, getting ready to take the mat. They're not as spread out as the other teams.
Just 3 more teams now, the Bel Air Bobcats, the Patterson-Hill Huskies, and the Joppatown Mariners. Beto, they talk about the uniforms. Obviously, the long sleeves seem to influence the judges, or at least that's the thought, that sometimes it helps the arm movement.
Well, the uniforms sometimes are designed by coaches to bring attention to arms or any of the extremities for the judges to see that they are in line, that they are at the same level, they are heading at the same time. And again, all of that gets rewarded if done well. So hopefully you're designing your uniform to match your team's skill level.
And I can't think of another sport that it takes 5 hours to fix your hair. With me, it wouldn't be that long. It would be like a wash towel and I'm done.
And that's 2 of us.
Yeah.
Here we go.
I have trouble with that bow. I'd have to paste it on my head. Here are the Bel Air Bobcats now. Can you hear me talk? No.
Barely. All right, notice their choreographed entrance, the timing.
Bobcats are ready.
Front in the back, a little bit something across the front with some cartwheels. Standing handspring tucks. Putting the tumbling into the intro. Looks like a basket toss going up.
Oh, what a nice toss.
Looking for some good height.
That was like 30 feet in the air, I think.
And again, noticing the cheer starting off earlier than some of the other teams. Had tumbling in it. 3 stunt groups going up. Finding creative ways to go up under the known body position is important. Heather's arabesque. Again, another transition out of it. Stepping out of that. Switching the feet. Another more higher, difficult element. Scorps over to scales. Again, look at their faces trying to entertain the judges and the audience.
I love it.
Transition. Hip rolls into this bowling pin formation for jumps. Curler, toe touch, toe touch.
It's sort of a combination of in your face and I'm having fun.
Absolutely. Again, they're trying to convey that this is effortless, even though it's quite demanding. Back to tumbling again in the back. Some tucks. Again, trying to avoid any touching other than landing on the feet. Out of the corner too. Got some tucks. Here comes the full twist out of the corner. Going up. Some baskets.
Wow, nice.
Keep those transitions without bumping into people is important. Again, straight lines. Getting there as few steps as possible. All right. Pick up to those stags to the center. Switching the feet. Outside stretches. A little timing issue there. Got that back tuck. Brought it back up. Nice use of legs. Nice lines on that front flip. Finishing up with a dance. Good energy, good facials. Good variety of movements. Timing's on.
Oh yeah, the Bella Bobcat. Beto, you have to be just totally exhausted. They talk about leaving it on the mat, leaving it on the floor. I mean, after 2 minutes and 30 seconds of that kind of exertion, they got to be tired.
You can see it on their faces. When they come off, they're catching their breath.
But the hugs are genuine. You can see that these young people have developed a sisterhood and brotherhood bond because of all the effort they put in since August the 15th.
Sure, they have to rely on each other for so much, and many times it's their safety as well, so they're very appreciative of each other.
They have shared the pain, the sorrow, the joy, and now this 2 minutes and 30 seconds, all they can do now is wait for the judges to decide how they did, to see if they will emerge as the champions. Will it be Seamoth or Wright? Will it be Hartford Tech? Will it be a surprise team this year?
And in my opinion, too, there's been a lot of issues and mistakes being made by all the teams across the board. I do think that, again, tonight's winner or top 3 will also be decided by the least number of deductions, the least number of mistakes. It goes to show on one hand that everyone makes mistakes. On the other hand, those that make the fewest and, again, execute well will be rewarded.
There you see Caitlin Custis, the coach of Seamoth and Wright, and actually the captain of Seamoth and Wright, exhorting her team. This is like Ray Lewis in the middle of the Ravens huddle. I don't see the squirrel dance going on, but she's getting them fired up. Yeah, I think they are ready. Lorena Beauchamp, Ava Bonacci, Tierra Dermatis Wells, Destiny Gilbert, not here Destiny, but she's with the team in spirit. Taylor Hyde, Kayla Alanowski, Marley Jett, Juliana Kennedy, Jillian Lambert, Josephine O'Keefe, Kaylin Peluso, Madison Powers, Tamara Smith, Alex Simpler, Malia Rozak. That's the team from Patterson Mill. Caitlin Custis is the coach. Our penultimate team. I think that means next to last.
Correct, and here we
I learned that word yesterday. I thought I'd try to throw it in.
I was going to say, here we have their lineup before taking the mat. I see they have a mascot up front, another cheer bearer.
Teal and black and white, the colors of the Patterson Mill Huskies. Boy, Patterson Mill opened in '07. It's now, what, 11 years old? Good grief,
Wow.
I just remember them opening like yesterday.
A lot of time's gone by.
It has gone. Now, this is the smallest school in the county enrollment-wise in the high school, so they're a 1A school. Again, think about it. You're fielding a field hockey team, you're fielding a girls soccer team, you're fielding a cross-country team, you're fielding a cheerleading team. So the smaller the school, the more difficult it is to find, enough athletes to fill all those spots. They're doing a great job. Abdergrade's the same way, a 1A school. And Joppatown, that we're going to see in a moment, also a 1A school.
The Patterson Mill
All right. Taking the floor.
They have a bear of some sort.
Maybe it's a cat. Actually,
Is it a cat?
had whiskers.
We'll have to take a look and see.
Here we go.
Their mascot.
Front walkovers and run up handspring into the center in the back. So now we have one girl basing the flyer, one man. Just still prepping a quick cradle, but again, it's a little more difficult than we usually see. Transitioning over to again the 3 stunt groups. They're going to spin up, pulling up.
Very nice.
4 libs. Again, looking for the timing to be together on those cradles. Knees locked out when they get caught. The timing on the body positions here, we've seen some other teams hit at better times and other teams a little more sloppily. Timing, ladies. Jump sequence. They're looking for multiple jumps as well.
It's hard enough to do timing with one group, but you have 3 or 4 different groups performing the same stunt.
Correct.
Have to be in total unison.
Nice variety in that transition. Good volume. They just combine 2 standing tucks into that cheer. We're going to have some basket tosses. Timing though, 1, 2, okay. Air lab to the side. We have something going from the front to the back. We're definitely keeping it moving. Nice straight body layout. Then nice lines, 1 full twist.
I like the look they give the judge up at, hey, how do you like that, huh?
They're trying to get the judge's attention. They do want to be rewarded for doing something difficult. Nice bow and arrow in the center. Little half turn sponge down.
Switching the hands, I like that.
The body as well and the feet, switching the feet. And again, a pyramid that doesn't stop moving gets rewarded better with more formations and more structures. Here we go, back up again. All right. Thing finishing up with the dance. Keeping eye contact with the audience and judges is important. There's smiles on the faces. Don't look tired.
I like it. Patterson Mill Huskies. I'm going to have to ask them why they have, if they're a dog, the Huskies, why they have a cat as their mascot. I don't understand that part. But I'm sure there's a reason. You know, the one thing I want the fans to know is the next time you go out to a game, you're watching the cheerleaders. I think it's a bear. Huh?
Is that a cat? Oh, she didn't hear me.
He can't hear us. Anyhow, it's a nice little psychedelic thing. But the next time you go out to watch a game and you're watching these cheerleaders do their thing, remember that they were in competition here, so that while they're cheering for the other team, they're preparing for this kind of competition. That's what impresses me most. No other sport that you can think of where you have to perform for your other teams, and then you have your competition.
True.
So it's like a dual thing where they're actually performing a service for the school as a cheerleader and then also competing themselves. Well, we're down now to the final squad, the Joppatown High School team. Beto, I asked you in the beginning, would you rather be the first team competing or the last team competing after what we have seen? Now, maybe as cheerleaders, you don't get to watch the other team participate. so you haven't been intimidated by that. But now you've been waiting in the wings for 14, different teams, and now you're finally getting to perform.
And some coaches prefer for the team to go last. They feel that perhaps there's nothing left after them, and if anything has been held back by the judges in terms of scores, they'll let it go out now and reward it as high as possible. So some coaches like to go have their team go last, and here we go.
Now you've done judging. How do you judge? In other words, it's the first team. You have nothing to measure them against. How do you be fair to all 14 teams?
You have to remove the fact of what order they're going in and just purely evaluate what they're performing and executing on the floor.
The Mariners from Joppatown, purple and white. And Beto, I remember when they were a brand new school in 1973. That means I am just old.
That's all you done. I don't know that.
I remember Edgewood was a new team, 1954. It's a little intimidating, is what it is. You want our team names? I should probably do that. Carl Bardoff, Kyla Brown, Iona Crippen, Alasha Davis, Micaiah Dorsey Cofield, Amaya Fields, Jamara Finch, Alexis Fortier, Anna J. Savoy, Anya Head, Brooke Welsh, Candace Honeyama, Dynasty Strickland, Kalia Williams, Kiara Williams, Nalo Shield, Stasia Lear, and Tazia Nicholas. Stasia Lear, S-T-A-S-I-A, Stasia Lear. Great job, Joppatown. 14 teams. This is the 14th of the teams that we will have seen. After this, the judges will take some time. They'll go back into the soundproof room, come out with, somehow they'll pick winners. I don't know how they do it. These teams have been so good. If you ask me right now as an untrained observer, pick the team you think is going to win, I'd say, I don't know.
Okay.
That's why I'm glad I'm not a judge. All I do is stand here and watch Beto talk about cheerleaders. It's an easy gig.
I think you do more than that, Don.
Well, thank you so much. You said that just the way I wrote it for you. You want to come back next year?
Sure.
Okay, there you go.
And I think here we're still waiting for a judge to tally up the score. It seems in the center of the table.
Judges making their final tally.
A lot of notes and comments to be made. I think we have the green light.
The one judge, the lead judge, puts her thumb up, and I think that means Joppatown, we are ready for you.
Last, but certainly not the least, the Joppatown Mariners.
If Dan John said that a bit loud, it's because Samantha John is his daughter, who happens to be the coach of Joppatown. At least he didn't say, and here's the best squad of all, Joppatown.
So we saw the intro cheer there. Got the cheer out of the way. We could jump in there. Transition now to should be two stunt groups, it looks like. Half turning it up. Good motions. Those are good. Necessary. No matter what body position they choose here. And again, if they make mistakes down, they're trying to keep the routine moving. Trying to have good technique as they continue. Timing on the jump. Judges will be looking for that to be together. Two groups again. It looks like a tumbler across the front. Step out. I don't know if Haynes finishes it with a tuck. Okay, two basket tosses. Straight legs are important. Good lines. Some cartwheels out to the side. Trying to hurdle at the same time. Back to front, front to back. Little back walk over, step out, and a tuck there. See it going up. They're trying to keep the timing. Again, looking for a good recovery if something goes wrong.
Peter, that's a great point. Making a mistake is how you recover from it.
And it's showing on your face as well. You want to show as if, again, nothing is wrong and everything is effortlessly, and you're smiling, entertaining the judges and the audience. Looking going to the dance, it seems. Groups on either side. Again, trying to keep the timing together on the side of one floor and the side of the other.
And there they are, the Joppatown Mariners, the last of our 14 squads. And the hugs, this is what I really love. They get the support of their team members, their coaches, their parents. It's just a wonderful thing. I love the enthusiasm. We're seeing now some of the injuries. One of the young ladies sort of limping off, and that is unfortunately a part of this sport. Well, now what will happen is the judges again will adjourn. They will go back, compare their scores, come up with a first place winner, maybe a first, second, and third, but the first place is the only team that gets an award. No longer is it a Cecil County champion and a Harford champion, and their scores added up, they will be compared to the other scores in the region to determine which teams go to the region competition.
Right, for the other teams performing across the state and outside of our county. So the floor is being brought up here, the mats velcroed up and carried off side, so there'll be some room for all the teams to huddle up in the center and hear the placement.
Well, we'll tell the folks in the truck that we'll take a little break here. We'll come back with some more activity. We'll see the winners of this event. We'll come right back and give that all to you. Well, we are back with you in a very loud Harford Technical High School. Beto Sanchez, we're understanding.
Here we go.
Cecil County. Elkton High School is in second place for Cecil County. They'll announce now a first place for Cecil County. Then they'll announce the top three winners for Harford County, and then eventually the UCBAC champion.
Here we go.
First place with a score of 110.1.
Northeast High School, the champion of Cecil County. So Elkton is the champion, or should say second place, Northeast from Cecil, and you can see how happy they are.
Very. All right, moving on to Harford County.
Now we go to Harford County.
Top three for Harford County. In third place with a score of 112.4. Patterson Mill.
Patterson Mill is in third place.
A lot of happiness there.
Now for second place.
All right, in second place with a score of 119.45.
Bella Bobcats are in second place. That leaves Harford Tech, C. Milton Wright. Could it be one of those two or a surprise team there?
Correct.
There you see Bel Air in second.
And I'm going to tell you, this was a close one. It was less than 3/10 of a point.
3/10 of a point.
Less
My
than
goodness.
3/10 of a point, separating second and first place.
Wow.
In first place with a score of 119.7. Through the strike, the Cobra!
Harford Tech.
Harford Tech, the home team.
Harford Tech.
They are the champions by Gato 3/10 of 1 point.
Correct.
Wow.
And sometimes it comes down to those tenths.
That is amazing. So Harford Tech, the champions of Harford County. Bel Air second place by 3/10 of a point. Patterson Mill third.
And all these other teams getting up to support him and clap for him, coming in, congratulating him. Second place team, other teams getting up.
And presenting the plaque for the UCBAC champion.
And here is the UCBAC champion.
Our UCBAC champions, Harford County.
Harford Tech.
Tigers are the UCBAC champions.
Correct.
Now, just to make this clear, 11 teams from 1A and 11 teams from 2A, 3A will go to the regions. We have Harford and Cecil counties. We have also two other counties involved. Baltimore County, and Arundel County, and Queen Anne's, Hartford and Cecil. So 11 schools from the 1A, 2A, 11 schools from 3A, 4A, assuming that Hartford County will get at least 2 or 3 schools in each of those categories.
All right.
Amazing. What do you think, Beto?
It was a very interesting night. A good bit of mistakes from a lot of the teams, and again, the Hartford Tech did very well, and Bel Air and Patterson-Mill, the judges thought that they deserved to be placed where they did. So good energy, and we'll see what next season brings.
So the defending champions, C. Milton Wright Mustangs, knocked off. They had some issues. They had a couple of mistakes they weren't able to recover from.
Right, their pyramid.
And it just shows, Beto, that even the best of prepared teams, you come into the competition, a mistake, very, very tough to recover from.
Every season is different, and every coach has to deal with what they have. And again, injuries as well, as we said, a number of factors.
Yep. Beto, we're going to go away for a moment. We'll come back. We'll interview some of the captains of the winning team. We'll wrap it up for you. We'll be right back here at Hartford Tech, where the Hartford Tech Cobras have won the 2018 Fall Cheerleading Championship. We'll be right back.
Hi, everyone. I'm here with today's first place winners, Hartford Tech's cheerleading captains, UCBAC winners as well. Here with Gracie, Natalie, and Kiana. And guys, you guys did a great job. It was a wonderful routine. A lot of teams had mistakes today, but you guys performed extremely well. Out of curiosity, what is the biggest challenge that the team had to overcome this year?
Just trying to hit. We went to a lot of competitions and we didn't hit our routine perfectly, but that was our goal today.
Overall, just like being second place all 4 years except for this year. So I'm so excited. We worked really hard to get here.
Did you guys have any injuries, any problems with any of that you guys had to deal with?
We didn't really have any injuries, but we had a lot of problems coming together as a team, and I feel like we finally this week we just got it together and we're able to get it, we came out on top today, so I think that was a big improvement for us.
Well, good, good. And one last final thing too I had in mind. In terms of the routine flow, what do you think helped prepare you the most in order to succeed and come out on top today, not only as first place but UCBAC champs?
Just encouraging people throughout the routine, I guess.
Definitely our coaches, Coach Alex and Coach Jessica. They prepared us by going through our warm-ups as if we were at competition at practice.
Nice. And anything else?
I think also as us seniors, we've been here since our freshman year. We've literally, like as Kiana said before, we got in second place every single year. And I think this year we are just so done with second place. So I think that kind of really sparked something for us to come out on top. Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for sharing that with us. And congratulations one more time. And Don?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Beto, great job. Hang with me here. 0.3 of 1 point. I don't think there's ever been a competition that close in terms of first and second place.
And again, it really comes down to the details. Again, they have the rubric. They're scored in a certain way. And sometimes when you do the math, it is just that close. And today it was.
For C. Milton Wright, of course, the defending champions didn't place. They still have a chance to get into the regions.
They do, and I know they were heartfelt and saddened by how they performed today and their mistakes. And again, every team makes mistakes, and doesn't mean you're out of it for forever. But again, the other teams did do well.
You know, we talked about C. Milton Wright being the team to beat going back in Hartford County history to the, to the 1990s and the early 2000s. It's not that C. Milton Wright has regressed to the pack. The pack is caught up, and now you're just seeing great competition throughout not only Hartford County, but Cecil as well.
I agree. I think that throughout the high schools over the years have improved. However, much like today was a great example, the basics have to be hit, they have to be clean, and you have to execute your difficulty well and not make mistakes.
Hartford Tech finishing first, the Bel Air Bobcats finishing second by 0.3 of a point. Patterson-Mill a surprise third place, and I know they have to be happy about that.
Absolutely, absolutely. You saw a lot of emotion today, and the happiness could definitely be felt.
And Northeast number 1 in Cecil County, Elkton number 2. Now remember, it's 11 teams that come from this region, the East region. That includes Queen Anne's County, Hartford County, Cecil County, Baltimore County, and I think one other that I'm forgetting right now. So it could be that several teams from Hartford County will be in both the 3A, 4A, and the 1A, 2A. We are certain that we'll get somebody in. Hartford Tech and Bel Air certainly are going to be reckoned with when it comes to the state championships.
Very exciting sport. I'm always curious to see what happens next.
Well, very good. Beto Sanchez, thank you so much. It was a pleasure.
Thanks for having me, Don.
Hope you enjoyed it. It was the 2018 Hartford County Cheerleading Championships. Again, the champion this year is the Hartford Tech Cobras, repeating and coming back from second place last year, dethroning C. Milton Wright Bel Air second, Patterson-Mill third. Again, hope you enjoyed it. Don Morrison along with Beto Sanchez saying good night, everyone.